Hey, Service Nation, so glad to be hanging with you today. We are going to talk about how service company tracking can be made easy. More importantly, what to track, how to track, why to track, all that good stuff. If you are the guy or gal that has known they should get their tracking tight, but they're not sure exactly what to do it or how to do it, and they're afraid if they look at it, it'll be scary. Today's your day. We're going to get you all sorted out. It's super important, and it doesn't have to be a part-time job or something that makes you miserable. So the problem is I found most folks either don't know what to track or what to do with the information once they do track it. And then it's kind of a lot of work, so then they don't track anything. And that is a real kick in the pants. Again, I like talking about fun, sexy stuff like hiring and bidding and client attraction, all that good stuff. But man, oh man, this is a system that needs to be done, the tracking. So we're going to dive into that today, because the problem is if you don't track properly, if you don't know what to track, how to track it, you don't track, and then if you do track, you don't do anything with the information, it's just going to kill your growth. So all the fun, cool, sexy stuff we talk about, how to get clients, how to get employees, how to be awesome in general as a business owner, can be derailed by one thing. It's just going to kill your growth. Even if you've got so many good other systems that you kind of can get away with not tracking as much, your growth, best case scenario, your growth gets just killed. Worst case scenario, put you out of business. And also it robs you of confidence and clarity, right? So there's always that feeling of, am I working on the right things? And that's a lot of what we do with the coaching that we give to service owners is confidence, right? There's this whole, if you guys are like me, when it's your business, it's your baby, you'll do anything, right? You will give what it takes or pay the price, whatever your business asks, we give, right? It always gets the first fruits. It's like our favorite child. And we don't mind it as long as we got some sort of indicator that we're going to get a return on that, right? That's what the business needs. It's helping. It's the right thing, right? But the frustrating thing is when we're putting time and money into something because we love our business so much, but we don't know if it's really what's going to make it change or move the meter or be effective at all. And that's what gets us screwed up. Tracking is going to solve all of that. So, by the way, if you are digging the show, please subscribe, rate, review, tell a freaking friend about the show. You guys are the gas, right? We've been growing and it's been awesome. And it is 100% for you guys. We've done zero advertising for this thing so far. It's just because you guys are amazing. So throw us a subscription, rating, review, tell a friend. We'll keep, the more you let us know you love it, the more we will support the show and put more time and money into it. Okay, so the first thing we've got to overcome, and this makes me crazy when I hear from coaching clients, when I talk about tracking, and this may be you can raise your hand internally. I promise I won't tell anyone. If you're like, oh shit, that was me. Oh, pardon my language. Oh, dang it, that was me. So if you've got that, it's believable. My accountant handles all that. Like, that's my fastest way to make me go crazy when I'm talking to a coaching client is when I go, okay, let's get out your books. Let's get your P&L. Let's talk numbers. And they go, oh, my accountant handles all that. That's nutballs, right? I'm totally okay with your accountant handling the accountant. I'm not saying you need to be doing your payables and your receivables or your payroll. I actually don't want you doing that. I want you to do your accountant to do that, or a bookkeeper, someone qualified, right? But I didn't talk about bookkeeping. I talked about tracking and reading the numbers. So when people go, oh, my accountant does the accounting, we're good. When I say my accountant checks the P&L and tells me what to do, now we got a problem. No offense, by the way, guys, gals, and I've done this, but it doesn't work. Accountants are not CFOs and they're not consultants. Really, CPA, certified public accountants in the United States, I forget what they're called in Canada, and probably something different for our Australian and UK friends. But certified public accountants really should be experts in tax code and how to make sure that you pay the least amount of tax that you are legally obligated to pay. Please don't hear me saying cheat on your taxes or lie to the government or steal from your government. I am saying don't tip them, right? No offense, government, but you guys suck at handling my money. So I'll give you what's legally owed, and you should give what's legally owed as well. But we don't need to tip, right? So their CPA, when it comes to certified public accountant or whoever files your taxes, assuming they're qualified, they should be an expert in tax mitigation. How do I make sure that I calculate my taxes properly, I pay as little as I owe, and I do pay, right? That's what the CPA should do. We do a lot of like, oh, my CPA has been giving me feedback and advice and blah, blah, blah. And rarely, I'd say one case in 10, are they qualified to give you feedback on how your P&L should look, right? Because the problem is, especially if most of them aren't niched, right? So they're like, I have a ton of different businesses, and my profit model is much different than a landscaper's profit model, which is going to be very different than a realtor's profit model, which is going to be very different than the next guy's profit model, right? So be very careful when we have our accountant look at our books. They're welcome to look at it, but kind of the consulting part where they tell us what the P&L means and how it should be, almost never are they qualified for that. You as the owner, that's one of the very few jobs you need to be qualified for. So really important that you have a clear understanding of the key numbers. That's one of the things that we help you. Let's talk about that. So the other thing is belief. It takes a ton of time to track. It may take a bit of time to set up a tracking system. That's good. Once you get it set up, it takes very little time to track the right things. And it takes a massive amount of time to fix the mess that lack of tracking leads. So really, there's a couple key KPIs that we're going to need to track. I'll give you a couple examples, and obviously, depending on your business, it might be a little different as you go down. But just top level. And again, the thing that makes me crazy is a lot of business owners, their key KPI, their key performance indicator is cash in the bank. I can't think of a worse indicator. There's so many things that go into that. And we're like, oh, I've got a lot of cash, therefore we're doing well as a business, or I've got no cash or little cash, therefore we're doing poorly. Couldn't be further from the truth. So we want to make sure that we're tracking basically sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit, overhead, net profit. So just on the P&L, those are the big things that we want to track. Most businesses, you should know that. And it's frustrating because most people I talk to, they know their sales, which is good. Oftentimes, they don't even know their profit. So we got to switch that, by the way. Profit's what's important. That's what we're here for, right? So sales are only good if they influence profit. I would rather have a little $500,000 business making me $200,000 in profit than a $50 million business making me no dollars in profit. The headaches just get bigger with the more millions that you add, which is fine if you get paid for them, but not so good when not. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot of time to track the right things once you set up a good system. Another thing is we I don't know if we believe this, but we tell ourselves this when we don't want to track. Well, having all that data is not really going to make me more money. The truth is, you don't even know if you're making money without tracking, right? Never mind how to get more. So data is super important. And honestly, I try to get as much stuff as we do in our coaching program when I'm helping you, in a smaller group and really walking you through the systems and process. I try to give that best I can one to many. So I'll just tell you, if you were to pay me a bunch of money to coach you, anytime you come to me with a question, I'm always going to ask for data. So if you said, how do I make my business more profitable? I'm going to go, I don't know. What's your sales and cost of goods sold and overhead and profit now? And if you give a response like, it's a lot, I'm not going to be able to help you. Then I'm going to say stuff like, well, sell more, right? You can give sloppy data, I can give you sloppy coaching. Or you can give yourself sloppy coaching, or anyone can give you sloppy coaching. If you said something like, I don't have enough employees, how do I fix it? I'm going to go, what's your hiring funnel look like? How many applicants? How many people show up for the first interview, second interview? How many you hire? How many stop? Like, we need data. So really important that you understand this is all I do all day, every day as coach owners of service companies, and we're very good at it. Even me, even our team, who's just the best, if we don't have data, we can't help you, right? So if you're on your own, holy crap, you got no chance. No data, no growth, you're stuck. You can just keep guessing and hoping it works out. And business is tough. It ain't gonna just work out on its own. Okay. Yeah, and this whole, because that leads to kind of, I've got a good idea of the important stuff. I don't need to write it down anywhere. So not true, right? Owners kind of tell ourselves stories of how we're doing when we're afraid to know the truth oftentimes, right? So sometimes we don't want to look at our P&L because we're afraid of what we're going to find. So that's what pushes us to the cash flow. I've got money in the bank, I'm doing well. I don't have money in the bank, I'm doing poorly kind of accounting method, and huge air quotes over the accounting method because that's a terrible method. So I think that's the big side. The flip side is I need more I need to track website hits, phone calls from this, engagement, shares, click-through rate. Like, that's one of the, like, Facebook's a perfect example. That used to be Google it still is Google with analytics, Facebook with their analytics. They will track for you 1,000 things: impressions or clicks or click-through rate or new click-through rate or total click-through rate or opt-in rate. And there's just 1,000 things that you can track. And sometimes we get overwhelmed with tracking too many things. So we track nothing. So I really want to encourage you, you don't need to track everything. You just need to track the key things. So let's walk through a bit of a framework of what that could, should, and might look like. First of all, the big thing is always is a system, right? So if your system is when my balance in my bank account is really low, I'm going to go to my accountant and yell at him or her. That's not a good system. Also, I'm going to wait until I've got a problem, and then I'm going to try and fix it. That's always tough, right? So lack of tracking kind of has reality tell you when there's a problem, right? If I'm not doing any tracking and I run out of cash, and then I try and solve it. It's very difficult when, and I've been here, by the way, guys, gals, when you've got a $50,000 payroll due on Friday and it's Wednesday and you've got 23 grand in the account. That's a really prickly pear. Not something I can recommend. The solution to that is proper cash flow analysis and tracking, right? I could have known that that was going to happen before and done something about it. So if we don't have the data, we can't do something about it. So the first thing is it has to be systematized and it has to be regular. A lot of us try and do this shoebox accounting where put it off, put it off, put it off, and wait until some sort of external event forces us to do our accounting. Most of us, that's tax day, right? And again, I don't like tax day as much as the next guy. We pay way too much in taxes, but we have our crap together, right? It's not like it's a bunch of work because we've been doing the proper accounting throughout the year. So it's just a matter of having our accountant figure out how much we owe and pay it. So the problem is if it's not tax day, it's typically I ran out of money or I can't make payroll. So the way that we solve that is we have a system for tracking. Typically, and I just gave you some general KPIs. Obviously, for your business, you're going to want specific. So actually, there's three parts. One is the money, right? And the P&L will mostly help you. As you get larger and depending on how well you manage your cash, you could also add a balance sheet and a cash flow projection. But for most service businesses, certainly under 3-4 million, especially if you bill properly, i.e. in advance, you don't need as much of those, and you can maybe check those quarterly. But monthly, you're going to want to look at your P&L, and your P&L, you're going to want to look at sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit, which is basically your sales minus your cost of goods sold, your gross profit, your overhead, right? All of your fixed expenses that come in every month, whether you sell a lot or a little, and then your profit. That's really it for the P&L. If you are the type of person that can handle putting this in and want to put this in, fine. I'd prefer you not. Just because you want to get it done. That's a repetitive low. We talk a lot about high income leveraged type activities and low income unleveraged type activities. It's low leverage, right? To do all this stuff yourself is low leverage. The high leverage part that makes you a lot of money is once a month have your accountant make sure, or your bookkeeper, whoever it is, send you a P&L ready to roll, or open up your QuickBooks. I like better if you go by yourself, because the problem is when they send a P&L, there might be a big number and you're like, what's that? You can't click on it. If you open up your accounting software, and I recommend for most service companies, again, certainly under 5 million, QuickBooks is great. You can click and kind of see what's going on. So once a month, you might spend 30-40 minutes just looking at those numbers, and you're going to have KPIs. The beautiful thing is once you get your tracking right, you can run all of your company by that. So we'll get to that in a second. So you start with your books, and we just kind of told you the KPIs there. The next thing is going to be client attraction. So many people miss this, or they'll go into the deep, like, what was my click-through rate and how much is this? That's not what we're looking for. Really, all you need is leads, bids, and sales by source. That's really it. Leads, bids, sales by source. So we got, we spent $1,000 on Facebook, and we got 32 leads, and we gave 2 bids, and got 1 sale, or whatever the case may be. That's it. Leads, bids, sales by source. And then on the employee side, you want applicants, interviews, starts, stops. Ideally by source, but it's not as big of a deal on the hiring, especially if your hiring ad's working. So really, those are the only 3 things that you need to track month in, month out. And the big thing is, once you've got KPIs on all of them, key performance indicators, so you know where they should be, your whole business running could just be checking those, and when all the KPIs are green, that's it for the month, right? I mean, it depends on the systems and processes you have of how much you kind of need to be involved in your business, but as we talk about a lot, there's in your business and on your business, so we want to make sure, and out of your business, that's really it. You could be working in your business, which is doing the service that you do, doing payroll, buying supplies, haggling with vendors, all that's in. There's on, which is kind of what we're talking about now, looking at, so in would be preparing the financial statements, which your accountant or bookkeeper should do. On would be looking at the financial statements and making decisions based on what they say. So, and then out is not working, right? Those are really the only 3 things you can be doing. If you're either working or not working. If you're not working, you'd be working in or on. We want as much of your time on your business or out of your business. That's really a lifestyle thing, whatever you want to do, but in the business is not what we want you doing. So if you've got, and the systems and processes we teach get you out of the business, so the in the business stuff doesn't really apply, or we get you doing 0 to 10% of your time is in your business. So once you are in your business jobs done and you're working almost exclusively on your business, which is where we want you to be. Because then you can vacillate, right? You can go, oh, this month I'd like to work out of it. I don't want to work. I want to take a month. Great. You can do that because the business runs independently of you. When you're working in your business, who's going to buy rags? Who's going to do payroll? Who's going to, so that's why we try to get out of that. Also, if you choose not to be, if you're working, if the in your business work is being performed by your team as it should be, you can either be out like we talked about, or then you could be on. That way, at least you get paid. So if you're going to work, you're working on projects and the stuff that we're talking about now, reviewing your financials, making decisions, and setting up systems to review your financials, right? So the beautiful thing is, if you're where you should be, which is just working on your business, not in it, and you check your KPIs and they're all green, you get nothing for the month. You're good to go. See you next month, right? Typically, that's not the case. I wish. It should happen every now and again, right? It's not like it's a never thing, but it's certainly like an every month thing. But when it doesn't happen, literally, you just check the greens and the yellows, right? So say we're doing 100 grand a month, we want to get to 200 grand a month. So this month, my KPI for revenue is 110 grand. If our actual was 110 grand, nothing worried about that, right? If it's not, say it's only 90. We actually went backwards. Holy crap. Well, now I'm going to dive more into the other KPIs of the client attraction, right? All my client attraction is tied up in how many inquiries, bids, and sales, or leads, bids, and sales that I have. And then we're going to dive into that by source, right? And do you see how you can kind of like cascade down? Once you've got the big picture problem, you can go inside your business and find out where it is. And you just need some KPIs. So the long story short is, let me just see if I can sum it up. Your accountant or bookkeeper or CPA's job is to prepare your books. Your job as the owner is to make sure that you understand them and make decisions based on the data. It does not take a lot of time to do tracking right. Once it's set up, it takes very little time, less than an hour a month. But you are going to have systems. You have to make sure the people working in your business are doing their job, and the person doing on the business, you are doing your job. You have to understand that data equals ability to make good decisions. It is tough enough in business, even with good data, to make good decisions. You have no chance. You're just throwing darts at the wall without data. You feel like, I've got a good idea, I feel like it, I got money in the bank, we're good. That will end, I promise you. And what will happen is, if you're not tracking, some sort of destructive thing will happen. I can't pay my taxes. I have a payroll due. Oh my gosh. And the answer to that is, well, start tracking 3 months ago and start making decisions then that will fix it now. There's very few things available to you when you have a $50,000 payroll on Friday and you got $20,000 on Wednesday. 2-3 months ago, that's an easy problem to solve. On Wednesday, that's a tough problem to solve. And then also don't go the other way on tracking, which is I got to get every little, how many hits to my website and how many, what's my conversion? There's really inquiries, bid sales, or leads, bid sales. That's really kind of it. And then if those KPIs are no good, then you might dive into the little stuff. But you always start with the big KPIs, the financial. If those aren't right, then you go into leads, bid, sales on the client attraction side. And if employees is what's holding you up, then it would be applicants, interview starts and stops. And you find out what piece is there. And then you might dive down at that point into, okay, our Facebook ads that we're supposed to bring in 50 leads and 20 appointments and 5 sales this month, and they brought in half of that. Then and only then might I get into, okay, what's our click-through rate and all that. So I'm not saying that stuff's bad. I'm just saying don't start there. Start big and then work your way small. Good news is, once you do get this tracking done, and I promise it's not overwhelming once you get it done, and that's a lot of what we help folks do, you will have the data to make good decisions based on reality and facts and numbers, not on feelings. Feelings will absolutely eat your daggum lunch. So if that was helpful and you want more, you're digging it, like I said, subscribe, rate, and review to the show. And tell a friend for sure. If you really want more, we're always trying to give more value. And we talk about how to get clients, and we don't even have anything to sell for right now, but we're still trying to bring lots of value now. So when we do, we'll have a line of folks that want more help. And if you do want help, just email me. Shoot me an email, Mike@growmycleaningcompany.com, or support@growmyservicecompany.com. Sorry about that. You can email me both. I'll do my best to respond, and we'll see if we can help. Other than that, if you go to growmyservicecompany.com, I think we've got a Facebook you can get, a Facebook group you can get into. I've got a new book coming out. We'll let you know when that comes. It's at the printers. It's literally like being printed, so pretty quick if you want that. Some other stuff you can get, like all sorts of anything cool that's going to happen if you go to growmyservicecompany.com. Oh, you can follow us on Instagram. That said, if you'd like a copy of my current book that's already printed, ready to go, I'm a freaking genius. Why is this business so hard? Just go to Instagram and just direct message me, right? I think it's instagram.com/growmyservicecompany. There's a picture of me in a mop, which makes me happy for some reason. Just direct message me and say, hey, dude, I subscribed, I rated, I reviewed, I told a friend, and I will get you a copy of I'm a freaking genius. Why is this business so hard? All right, guys, gals, you're amazing. We'll see you on our next live. Hope to hear from you on Instagram at growmyservicecompany.com. Can't wait to serve.